Well, it turns out that America's largest retailers are now rethinking their gun policies. That after the string of horrendous mass shootings across the country that we suffered this summer. And many of those stores and grocery chains are now asking their customers to leave their firearms behind when they go shopping. So, will this have an effect on the continued carnage that our country has undergone? Bernard Zapor is a former ATF Special Agent and supervisor who has extensive experience on this. So, Bernard, do you think these new policies will work?
You know, it's a very difficult paradox for these retailers because obviously they're committed to having a customer experience, what they intend to have, and not people could be shocked when they see somebody in a retail location that's armed openly. You know, are you comfortable with somebody that's got a large caliber handgun? Is this person been drinking? Do they have any kind of training? But at the same time, having people not armed, I mean, I don't know of an active shooter situation yet where somebody was in shopping for hair gel and all of a sudden they started opening fire. So they're caught between two things here. One is the customer experience and two is the reality of being armed in the United States.
You make a point that some people would be nervous and upset, obviously, when they see this, you know, and I've seen that. At the same time, shopping for hair gel, I mean, how do you stop a potential mass shooter? You know, if you're the Walmart greeter, you know, what do? I mean, are they properly trained for this? What type of security do you have versus someone who, I mean, has a weapon, whether it's concealed carry or open carry, as would be allowed by law, and maybe not be taking advantage of or obeying what the store wants?
You know, when you look at some states that offer a concealed weapons permit, they oftentimes require training and qualification and a background check for somebody to be able to do that. And then they are carrying concealed. It's not in the open. People aren't even aware of the fact that they are armed. But at the same time, they've had some modicum of demonstrating their capacity and capability with the firearm. And then it sort of negates this entire issue about the carrying in a retail location because people can't see that they're armed, but they're also somebody that has gone through some type of training, they've demonstrated their competency, and they've had a background check. That might be the solution, is that states or municipalities go to more of a concealed weapons permit for people to be armed.
You know, one of the groups that's most active on this is Moms Demand Action, and Shannon Watts is the founder of that group, a mother of five, and now in Colorado. Let me give you some tweets from that group. They have pressured some of these stores to start this policy. Not one, not two, but three of America's leading retailers join the growing number of businesses who are rejecting gun extremism and saying no to open carry of firearms in their stores. Take some time today to thank Walgreens, Wegmans, and CVS Health for having gun sense as one. And Ms. Watts put these stores on notice, saying, quote, "Looking at you, Meijer, Aldi USA, Food Lion, and Publix. Your customers, mostly women, want you to keep us and our families safe. Will you stop allowing open carry in your stores? Hashtag groceries, not guns." On the other side, Brian Cole tweeted, "Disappointed to see my hometown grocery store, Kroger, banning open carry in their stores. I feel less safe doing my shopping now than before. This opens another door for a potential mass shooter to rampage the store without fear of resistance. Bring back open carry." Here's Georgia Congressman Republican Doug Collins also on that.
They're looking for a solution that is not going to come in what they're asking for. In fact, it could actually make things worse if people are not able to carry in some of these areas. Those who are criminally minded would know this.
Look, CVS stopped selling cigarettes, and other stores have taken other measures. Why can't take these measures that make sense and can satisfy both sides?
You know, I think we are part of the national paralysis on our firearms issue is that there's so much naiveness when it comes to what really happens with firearms ownership, firearms use, and firearms regulation. So in this state, or in this our current thing of preventing retailers or asking retailers not to allow armed patrons to come in, it does not tie into people that are coming in to commit homicide or an active shooter event. You're talking apples and oranges, unfortunately. There is the potential of a counter-assault chance by having somebody who's an armed citizenry, somebody who could actually react to this. And I'm sure that, like many of us in law enforcement, in the 9/11, for those of us who flew armed, wished that one of us was on one of the aircraft when that happened. It might have changed the outcome. These active shooter events it could potentially change the outcome if there was somebody armed. That might not be the solution, but I think that the overall safety demand is plausible, but we're not necessarily understanding that somebody being armed does not make them an active shooter, and they could, in fact, potentially stop one of these.
Well, it's quite a contentious controversy, and of course we have law enforcement too. Sadly, these events continue, and we'll see if it can be solved. Bernard Zapor, thank you so much.